Hey guys, welcome back. Hey guys, welcome back. We were just here yesterday, but we're here again. Welcome back to AnimeInkArt Live Talks. I'm your host, Lizzie. For those that are new to the show or may not know what it is that we do here on the YouTube channel, this is AnimeInkArt Live Talks, our live podcast show where we talk with different creators in the Blerd community about their journey in content creation and how we can support each other better in the community. So today we have very special guest Brandon Calloway, the founder of Blerd Manga / BlerdTv. So it's an amazing, indie manga, black manga publishing company, and they create diverse stories that, whether it's eight page, short, one shots, or 60 plus page, manga creations that you want to read, there's something for everybody. So they're also delving into anime down the road. They also deal with a lot of things in the Blerd culture. They have documentary series on their YouTube channels. They have live action series. They have podcasts. They do it all. So definitely let's have a good show and let's introduce them. Hello.
Hey.
How are you?
I am good. How are you?
I'm great. It's a pleasure to have you.
Likewise. Yeah, I'm glad to be here.
But again, thank you for reaching out to be part of the show, and I'm excited to talk to you about everything that you're doing. So for those that don't know who you are, introduce yourself and what you do.
Yeah, just like you said, Brandon Calloway. I am founder of Blerd Manga, BlerdTv. Just creating original, engaging, kind of authentic, real stories that contain Black characters, and it's not about the hardship or strife of being Black. It's just really good stories that also just highlight Black characters. And then working on moving from manga to anime, and really trying to build a whole platform where we just put out original Black anime for people to watch and enjoy.
Yeah, definitely. And you've been doing like a lot of amazing things in the past. Like I believe it's been like 6 years that you've been, on this journey. And first I wanted to ask, because I saw, during my research that like Black Spartans was one of like the first series that you created. And what inspired that first title that kind of started the company in a sense? Like, what was the inspiration for you to start?
Yeah, I mean, I'm really just a action based person,
Mhm.
and so one, I mean, I've been a huge anime fan for years, right? I
Yeah.
remember going to school, riding the bus to school, looking at the clouds, and like seeing Goku and Vegeta fighting each other in the clouds, right? Just on the school bus. And so I've been a big anime nerd for a while. And back in 2018, me and a friend of mine, we were just talking about how cool it would be to have our own, anime that actually was good and told good stories, and uh, it still centered Black characters. And so uh, I took about 2 years and dove into the learning process of how do you write, how do you create, how do you how do you actually do this, uh, and I don't like complaining about something I'm not willing to do. And one of the things that I like to complain about a lot is the lack of Black representation in in comics, manga, and anime. So figured I'd take a stab at it, and stumbled into this whole world of really dope and amazing Black comic creators around the country, and just excited to get to be a part of it, and have brought a few different stories to life. Uh, yeah, it's been a fun journey.
Yeah, of course. And I saw how you had the article that I saw on your website where when
Mhm.
you first were getting things off the ground, and you were able to like talk about, you know, your story and how you were able to like fund it. So what were some of the lessons that you learned, like you said, in those 2 years, you know, to get to that first point that, you know, skyrocketed everything?
Yeah, so those first 2 years was just like research and learning about writing. It wasn't even about publishing at at all. I started learning about that in 2020 when I dove into that part of it. But so I wanted to really spend a decent amount of time uh, increasing my own skills around, you know, how do you write a story, how do you tell a story, um, but just learning that the process by itself
Mm-hmm.
uh, is is more fun than you are actually able to explain. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, 'cause in all of the stories that I've you know wrote, and especially you know with me, because the way that we do it, you know, write a story, uh, find an artist to help bring that story to life, and
Mm-hmm.
so seeing each stage of it go from script to you know sketches to line art to colors to
Yeah.
full on book, you know, it's I feel like I've created and watched this thing over and over and over and over again in my mind already. Um, and so yeah, I mean the creation, the actually the creating portion of it is funner than it is kind of possible to explain. Uh-oh, I just went black.
Oh, you
Can you
good?
see me?
Yeah, I can
Yep.
see you. Yeah,
Okay.
it didn't go black for me. You're good.
Okay. Cool. Cool. It's just my computer. My computer old,
It's okay.
as you can
As-
probably tell.
No, it's okay. As long as I can see you and hear you, and the audience can see and hear you, we're all
Yeah.
good. We're all good. I'll let you know if anything happens, if anything. But I also wanted to talk about, you know, the stories that you have. So first, if you wanted to
Mhm.
talk about, for those that are interested about Black Spartans first, and like what the story is about.
Yeah, Black Spartans is really it's a I describe it as One Piece meets Bleach meets The Witcher.
Yeah.
Right? It is you know a monster hunting mercenaries going from you know one city to the next, getting paid to deal with whatever mythical creatures bugging that city that day. Uh, is kind of the overall story arc. Uh, Kind of in a world full of hunters that you know they do this for a living, and so you run into some hunters that are uh, doing it because it is part of what is necessary in this world to protect people. But then you also run into you know hunters that are doing it because they can get rich and wealthy and a lot of fame and power. Um, and and at the same time, you know, the humans are just one piece of the inhabitants in the world, and so you got you know a lot of other races of monsters that all think that they are the rightful species, and so you know all of that kind of happening in this world while you know, the main character Balbino is uh, just getting started and building up his own, you know, monster hunting guild and going around and starting all kinds of different journeys. So that I mean that's the core of that. I spent a lot of time building that world, a lot of time building that story,
Mhm.
um, and you know it is. I mean, I wrote a lot of stories, but it's
Yeah.
my favorite story I've written because you're writing it from the perspective of the protagonist, but then I like to go back and then write it from the perspective of the antagonist as well,
Hmm.
uh, because you know who determines who's right, who determines who's the protagonist and the antagonist is really just by who wins, you know.
No, yeah, I definitely agree with that, and That was a question I was gonna ask later down the line, but I love that that's like your favorite, and I know that like you have like the anime teaser for it as well. So definitely,
Mhm.
I can understand how that's definitely a favorite.
Yeah,
And I also want you to talk about the other like the synopsis of the other stories as well, because there's like 5 different titles that's also in
yeah,
the blurred files that we'll talk about. So I guess the next
yeah.
one we can talk about is the Reign of Chaos.
Yeah, Reign of Chaos. So, are you familiar? You're a gamer. You're a gamer.
I dabble a little bit. My husband's more the
Yeah.
gamer, so I learned from him.
Okay. You familiar with games like Elden Ring, Dark
Mhm.
Souls? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Good, good. And so, Reign of Chaos is my my version of a isekai, right?
Mhm.
Where a guy gets sucked into a video game world, but so this is this guy, main character named Donovan. He's a bodybuilder and gets sucked into a video game world that is extremely similar to Dark Souls and Elden Ring, right? So one of those punishing games where you're just dying over and over and over again. And it's like
Yeah.
everything feels like a boss battle.
Mhm.
Um, and his only way out is just to kind of suck it up and play through and figure out why he got there, how he got there, and how he can get out. And so trying to go through the game
Mhm.
and beat the game, beat the world, so that he can get back home. But he's also a big fan of these games, and so enjoying the process is uh, you know in this unrealistic, like mind blowing experience of actually being able to be sucked into one of these games.
Mhm.
Um, and so the Dark Souls, Elden Ring, those are my favorite type of games to play in general, are the Souls likes games. So when I was creating the second story, I wanted to you know write something that incorporated that, just because every game I play is just a holdover until the next From Software game.
I definitely can relate to that, especially when
Yeah,
I see my husband do that. It's like whatever game, and then once it like fills its purpose and is on to the next game.
yeah.
And the next one I was gonna ask about is the Knights of Olympus.
Oh yeah, Knights of Olympus. So Knights of Olympus is my top 3 anime. And I know you may have
Mm.
been asking this question later, but I'll say it now because it's relevant. But my top number 1 is One Piece,
Yeah.
uh, and number 2 is Attack on Titan. Number 3 is Vinland Saga.
Mm.
But Attack on Titan, you know, I when I was writing Black Spartans, I the essence, kind of the feeling that I wanted to put in there was this deep lore, story building journey like One Piece,
Mhm.
uh, and so massively inspired by One Piece.
Mhm.
Uh, Black Spartans is
Mhm.
Attack or gosh, Knights of Olympus is like Attack on Titan inspired, right? And
Mm.
so it's a post-apocalyptic plants and animals evolve and enslave humanity, uh, and the humans evolve their technology and begin to try to kind of fight back. Uh, and so it opens with like this there's a there's a farm
Yeah.
of kids. Like there's a kid farm
Yeah.
because these like giant monsterish pandas, these evolved monster
Mhm.
pandas,
Yeah.
uh, are farming the kids to sell and eat and all of that. Um, and then the few of the knights come in, and so they have suits that are powered after one of the 12 Olympians, or modeled after one of the 12 Olympians' powers. Um, and come in and rescue the kids and all of that. And so, but Knights of Olympus, we have a 8-page kind of just short introduction to that world. But it's a fun, you know, it'll be gory.
Well, that's a good disclaimer for anybody that may be like, oh wait, let me figure
Yeah,
out if I want to read this.
Yeah.
And then the next one is Michael.
Yeah, Michael. And so I'm from Kansas City, Missouri. And I wanted to, write something, based in Kansas City. I feel like every city loves themselves, and they think they love themselves more than everybody else. And so Kansas City definitely is that. We think we love ourselves more than any other city loves themselves. And so I wanted to write something that was overlaid in Kansas City,
Mm,
and Michael is that. And so he's half human, and I took the Archangel Michael
mm,
and gender swapped her.
mm,
And so the Archangel is Michaela,
mm.
and Michaela, falls in love with a human, has a baby.
Yeah.
And so Michael is a Nephilim, so he's half human, half
Mm,
Archangel.
mm,
Uh, walking around the world with the power of an archangel,
mm.
and this is superhero origin story, right?
Yeah.
He's fighting other fallen angels, demons, um, and some kind of other iconic fallen angels. So it's a lot of lore that kind of mirrors the Book of Enoch,
Hmm.
and so a lot of playing on some biblical themes in Michael.
Definitely. And the last one is the Wolf of Kansas City.
Yeah, and so that's a real clear, simple, straightforward one. Like the Wolf of Kansas City. So Kansas City Chiefs is our team here. You may have heard of. And the mascot for the Chiefs is Casey Wolf.
Mm.
Uh, you know, weirdly, it is not a chief. Uh, but I ain't gonna say nothing about that. Yeah, it's not a chief. It's Casey Wolf. And so I just reimagined Casey Wolf as a superhero. And so where you ain't from Tampa, or you ain't in
No,
Florida, right?
I'm from New Jersey.
Okay. Yes, that's right. Good, good. Because in the first issue, the 8-page
Yeah.
fun little comic for
Mm,
Casey Wolf, it
mm.
is him running around iconic places in Kansas City, well recognized places in Kansas City, beating up on Captain Fear, the Tampa
Yeah.
Bay Buccaneers mascot,
Oh, okay.
and the Buccaneers. Uh, and then Kansas City is known for barbecue, and so they go and they eat barbecue at the end of it, and so it's just kind of like our love letter to all of the cliches of Kansas City, uh, beating up on Captain Fear. And I wrote that the year that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers beat the Chiefs in the Super Bowl.
Oh, I
Yeah.
love that.
So my response was to write that.
That's hilarious. That's hilarious. Nah, I'm in New Jersey, so so like that. I don't think I'm part of that. We're part of that beef, but
Yeah. No, that's all right.
you're like that's a. And I wanted to talk about the YouTube channel. A few years
Uh-huh.
back, you launched BlerdTv, and you launched it first on YouTube. So I wanted to ask, what was that process like, or how did you feel when you finally were able to launch it? Because I know you have plans to like create like the full like streaming application so
Mhm.
people can get everything that's part of that YouTube channel, including like the anime when it comes out. So what was that process like a few years ago when you started BlerdTv, and you launched it on YouTube?
Yeah. And so I'll say, a while ago, I was when I got into publishing comics and all of that. Uh, I wanted, I was looking for a community I reached out to, and kind of, I started doing interviews and
Hmm.
talking to Black comic creators from around the country, you
Hmm.
know, and realized that everybody's kind of end goal was about creating some kind of animation, taking a story, turning it into animation, and
Hmm.
then I would also, be at cons, and you hear people that may not be a big comic reader, a big manga reader, but are excited about it, about it, any of our potential stories being animated so they can watch them.
Hmm.
Um, and And so I was like, man, everybody's trying to animate their stuff. Everybody wants people's stuff to be animated so they can watch it. Uh, you know, I, I want to create a platform that kind of brings all of that together, and that was kind of where BlerdTv came from. Uh, and so I created the Facebook page and the YouTube channel, and so we got don't have animation budgets yet.
Mhm.
We've done some animation samples, and so
Mhm.
not extremely far away from it, but
Mhm.
uh, wanting to continue to put out the books of what'll be animated, and then we're looking to add on news. We got some gaming stuff on there. We
Mhm.
already got some like debate type of stuff on there. And then one of the things that I really wanted to do, like on Blerd TV, should be a representative of just the community of blurs.
Mhm.
Uh, and so reached out to Hilton from BlerdCon, and
Mhm.
Frankie and Megaran, and it's a bunch of people in the space,
Mhm.
uh, put together a documentary just about what does it mean to be a blurred, and what is blurred culture like. And so it's an early, real indie thrown together documentary
Mhm.
uh, that will redo at some point to a higher level. But
Mhm.
yeah, it's Blerd TV is really just about building a platform that gives everybody what they want, gives the creators what they want, gives the Blerd community what we want and what we deserve, which is high quality, authentic stories that because it feels like every single time we get a story that
Mhm.
features us,
Yeah.
it seems sabotage. Whether it's like
Yeah.
y'all know the writing on this wasn't well, but you
Mhm.
like they put it out anyway, or they put something out without marketing it. Like
Mhm.
it feels sabotage. And so
Mhm.
again, I don't like complaining about stuff that I ain't willing to hop in, and I think it's a real clear way to fix it. So
No, yeah,
that's what Blerd TV is.
yeah, of course. I mean, like, I actually was gonna talk about the documentary because I saw like all those people that you mentioned in it, and I watched as much as I could. And I also know that it's really cool too because you're trying to delve into like live action as well. Because I watched some of like Sisters too, was one of the
Mhm.
live action that you had. So, what was it like making the documentary and like Sisters? Because I enjoyed watching it.
So Sisters isn't ours at all. Jonathan Armour, uh, he created Sisters. It's on
Open
his
Gate
channel.
Studio.
Yeah, Open Gate Studios. So that's a purely Open Gate Studios thing. They just did another movie, won another award, and so some just black indie live action filmmakers that they're doing dope stuff. And when they saw that we had Blerd TV, um, they wanted to let us put one of their movies on the Blerd TV. So it is a full on live action movie with Sisters on Blerd TV right now,
Mhm.
uh, and then the documentary up there, and then a few other little quick snippets, little gaming and stuff too. But the documentary, uh, doing that was dope. And just the idea, as soon as I reached out to people, I feel like within a day, everybody got back to me and was like, "Yes, absolutely, they want to do this."
Yeah.
Uh, and yeah, when I saw the movie Sisters, I mean, it was a high quality movie. Uh, it, I, I reached out to Jonathan and was like, "Man, how can we get this on the platform?"
Yeah.
So
Definitely. Yeah.
wanted it to be, even though we're not up and doing animation yet,
Mhm.
to the full extent. Uh, wanted it to be a place that people can still go right now and you know watch some stuff and be entertained.
Yeah, of course. And
I
I
think
want
we got like 100 videos.
yeah, there's quite a few videos, and I also know that you did a few like podcasts. I saw the Cosmically Powerful Blerd. And then I also saw Blerd Basics. And for people that may go to the channel and they see those like particular like, you know, content that you did, like explain like what those two are.
Oh yeah, cosmically powerful Blerd. That's a friend of mine who is a very he will argue with you that he is the most well versed in everything Marvel and DC.
Mm,
Uh, and so that it's him ranting about all of the stuff that he has very, very, very strong opinions on.
mm,
And then Blerd Basics is just me and another guy sitting and we take one specific topic. Like the first episode we ever shot, I think it's still one of my favorites. It is uh, referencing Attack on Titan. You know, was Aaron wrong? Was Aaron Yeager wrong for initiating the rumbling?
yeah.
Um, then we go back and forth on different things.
Yeah, of course. And I wanted to ask, like, how is this? Because I don't know much about, you know, like Kansas City, and like, how was the scene when it came to like, you know, just anime and like manga and like, you know, like especially like for the Black community? How was it before you created, you know, BlerdTv/Blerd Manga, and what is the impact that you felt creating, you know, your company and doing the things that you're doing in Kansas City?
Yeah, well, uh, a lot of the stuff that I do, I travel outside of the city. But Kansas City has a really good nerd culture. We have a Otaku Lounge is one of like the first anime only theme lounges. Uh, we got a few different cons here. We just talked about NakaCon that happened this past weekend. Planet
Mm-hmm.
Comic Con is about to happen next weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and then we're throwing a small Comic Con, Heartland Mini Con, happening later in May. Uh, and yeah, there is a huge community of people here in general that
Mm-hmm.
love anime, manga, all things comics, um, and uh, organically, without us even doing anything, like a Blerd group popped up in Kansas City as well, and so it's especially in the past few years, it's been growing. Like the scene and more people getting into it. It's been growing and been growing and becoming more of a thing. Prior to us,
Mm-hmm.
uh, there was still a big nerd scene, still a big nerd culture.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, it just wasn't as well known, and I don't think that we did anything to make it more well known, other than going around the city, providing comics, vending, and telling people about who we are and what we do. But yeah, Kansas City is a it's a pretty nerdy city, and it's continuing to grow in that direction.
Yeah, definitely. And I wanted to talk about the comic book workshop. What inspired you to start doing it, and how has the I saw that you had one, you know, earlier on last year, and then you had one recently. How has it been, you know, doing the workshop?
Yeah, the comic book workshop is just you know, I have a presentation I put together. I go and I sit and I take people through how do you come up with an idea, how do you create a concept, overlay a world over it, and then build a story out of that. Uh, and then just the step by step process, whether you're a writer, whether you're an artist, how do you come up with an idea and then end up with a fully written, fully illustrated book in your hand. Uh, and when I did it last year just to see if I mean a few people have asked me if I do stuff like that, and so I did it. Uh, and then I got a lot more people asking me like when I would do it again, and so I did a second one, and that one was a couple of weeks ago. That was the 28th, about 20 18ish days ago, and then the the more people have been asking about it since then too, and so already planning the third one. But it's a cool thing. I get a whole lot of people who have had ideas about a story that don't know really what to do with it, or where to start,
Mm-hmm.
and are just looking for kind of the first uh, pieces of a roadmap. And that's what this workshop is. It you know begins to give people my framework,
Mm-hmm.
so they can take that and turn it into, or add to it, or subtract from it, or do whatever they need to do to build their framework.
Yeah, that's definitely true. And I feel like it's gonna help a lot of people. And I feel like that's definitely like rewarding, like to give that knowledge so that other people can, fulfill their dreams. And that's something that they're really, that's something that they're really passionate about.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And I wanted to ask, oh yeah, so I know last summer you like there was over like I think it was like 400 or something copies that you sent out, for people to like review the story, and you got like over 133, I think, reviews. How did that
Yeah.
make you feel? Like getting because sometimes when you just bring the send stuff out for promotion, you don't even know if people are going to actually respond. But how did you feel to get all of those like reviews and like to read the reviews back and everything like that?
No, it felt good. It felt really good. We gave away digital versions of really any book anybody asked for, and so we got 90 pages or 100 pages of Black Spartans, and so I was giving that out for free, uh, and actually on our page right now we still giving it out for free,
Hmm.
um, and I just wanted, you know, I wanted to give it away to people that did not know me at all, so that they could give just real, honest feedback.
Hmm.
And it's. I started doing this because I wanted to, bring good, authentic stories to people like me that wanted the stories, and it was looking for them and yearning for them. And I also don't want to be arrogant and thinking that just because I want to do it that I should do it.
Hmm.
Uh, and so wanting to really get get people's feedback, of people that don't know me, so they ain't worried about hurting my feelings. Um, and so after putting it out, and we got four 4.8 out of 5 is
Yeah.
the average rating, and it was 100. So we had 113 reviews back. Gave away 400, and still 4.8 out of 5, and so that it made me happy uh to know that people were really liking, and then going and reading what people wrote about it, uh just what they actually said, what they actually liked about it, and it yeah, how they remember it, how they talk about it, how they feel about it.
I mean, seeing that, I was just excited for you because I'm like, it just means that you're doing the work and people are seeing it. So I'm happy for you that people are having a positive response to
Yeah.
it. Definitely.
Yeah.
And I wanted to ask, yeah, so we definitely got to talk about the Blerd files because that's recently what just
Oh
dropped.
yeah.
180 pages of like everything that you guys have put out. They
Hmm.
can have it there. So what was what was going through your head when you decided like I have to do this for my stories? Was that always the plan? Being that like a lot of your stuff, you're trying to integrate into different things, but
Yeah, no, it wasn't the plan. It wasn't always a plan. Uh, and so I mean, I started out because even with Black Spartans, I was going issue by issue, uh, and so I have 4 issues of Black Spartans, and 2 of Reign of Chaos, and then a bunch of there's other ones,
mm,
uh, and so 9 total like individual comics, and my thought was if I take all of these and I put them together in one book,
mm,
um, and because the different stories are for different people. If you might love Black Spartans but not like Michael. You might love Michael and not really like Black Spartans.
mm,
But they different stories for different people.
mm,
Um, and so the idea was putting all of that in one book, uh, creating this giant sampler, so that you know, as a customer, you can come up and you can grab this one thing, and now instead of paying $90, so $10 each for each comic, now you're paying $25 for everything, and you the likelihood that you find something not only that you just like, but that you actually really, really, really like, that you love, uh, goes up because you get to sample all of this different stuff. So yeah, that's the kind of the idea behind the Blerd files, was kind of like the I remember going back and watching the X Files. You go through different stories and different stories and different stories, and so taking all of these stories, throwing them in one book, and call it the Blerd files.
I feel like the Blerd files is a cool way to put it though. Like,
Yeah,
I think it's on brand with like it being like Blerd Manga / BlerdTv. I saw it. I'm like, oh, that's cool. I definitely gotta pick it up when I get the chance.
yeah, yeah. We got a bunch. We got a bunch of them. Got a bunch of them.
Yeah, of course. And how have you felt about the response to the Blerd files since it's been out for a little bit?
Uh, people have people have been really excited about it, especially you know when they realize that it's 5 different stories. They kind of hop on it faster than they've hopped on anything else that we provided before. So yeah, it is a decision that I'm very, 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 very happy that we made, because it has gotten really good response. Really, anytime we out and selling books somewhere,
Mm-hmm.
people get really excited about the Blerd files.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm very excited for you. And how has it been, going to the different, whether it's like doing the signings and like going to different events, what are some things that you have to do to navigate like getting the product out or having enough product like throughout the years that you've been like, going to these conventions and like these events, because I feel like people don't realize like the logistics sometimes, especially like when you're like trying to distribute comics and going to different conventions, how it can be sometimes trying to figure out which one to go to and which one how it will turn out. You never know.
Yeah. I mean, inventory management is a thing,
Yeah.
so making sure that I'm running things through my website so that I can correlate tracking sales and tracking inventory, kind of all at the same time, instead of trying to, because at some point I was doing those separately because I
Mm,
wasn't running everything through the website.
mm,
And now even when I'm on site, if I grab a table and set up at a coffee shop, I make sure I run everything through the website. Um, and then when it comes to like which cons that we gonna go to, it's checking out my schedule. When am I available? And then obviously if it's I had 2 different work events this
mm,
year, and so I couldn't go to BlerdCon.
yeah.
And so BlerdCon, DreamCon is
Mm,
always high up there.
yeah.
Um, and then trying to just look at what I got available, and it I tend to try to gravitate to more well-known cons, because the more well-known cons have higher traffic, and the more traffic, the more people are,
Mm,
are likely to buy a book.
yeah. That's true. And hopefully one day the schedule is not so bad and you get to come to BlerdCon. I think people will be very receptive to you
Oh
and like
yeah,
your story.
yeah. I am. After May is over, I'm grabbing a lot more control of my own schedule back
Mhm.
again. So yeah,
Yeah.
I'm finishing up. I'm graduating with getting an MBA, and
Mhm.
so after May 9th, uh,
Mhm.
I can I'll have a decent amount of my own schedule back.
Congratulations on that. I want to say it first and foremost, and I
Yeah,
know
thank you.
you're excited. You're almost done, and I'll manifest you being able to go to BlerdCon. I go every year, so that would be great.
Yeah, that's what's up. That's what's up. I definitely wanna get there next year.
Yeah, that's true. And I would say, how has it been, getting to interact with more of like the Blerd community as, you promote your company at, considering like how you grew up and then now you're able to do that. How has been, the interaction with the different people in the Blerd community, through doing this?
Yeah, no, I love it. I love it. Kind of, I mean, growing up, and which I feel like I hear a lot of people say, it wasn't that many black nerds around.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really feel like there's that many of us.
Mm-hmm.
And now I feel like, especially with the internet, we everywhere, and we we a text message away. And so it's been fun getting to actually feel like connect with people that resonate with the same stuff that you resonate with. So
Yeah.
this is another reason I'm happy to be able to go to more of the cons around
Mm-hmm.
the states,
Mm-hmm.
to be able to connect with, see, and party with more of the people.
Yeah, that's definitely true. And I love how like you've been more transparent about like your journey over the years, because I saw the one post where you talked about like how you've overcome like different setbacks when it comes to doing the stuff that you do for BlerdTv and Blerd Manga. And I also saw, well, congratulations as you're able to secure a 6-figure investment from an angel investor, so that's gonna be able to propel you forward with what you want to do. So I wanted to ask, like, how did you feel that you got to that point? And if you want to share, you don't have to share anything personal about some of the, things that you had to overcome to get to that point. You definitely can share.
Oh yeah, I mean the main thing is I learned a lot about animation,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
And you know, the best way of learning is doing, and when you do, you fail, and when you fail, you learn.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I came across a lot of animation is expensive. One of the things that first thing you logically try to do is figure out how can you get the highest quality for the lowest amount of money.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I mean, I got there's people that still owe me a lot of money,
Mm-hmm.
that you know never turned in a final product, that completely misrepresented what they were able to do.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's just that's a lesson. That's a lesson.
Mm-hmm.
And I know what questions to ask, how to respond to certain questions, uh, what red flags to look out for. And so I mean that's just part of the journey. It's a painful thing to learn, but it's part of learning it. Um, and then and being able to pull in an investor, um, really ready to kind of take everything, kind of at scale. And so, one of the things that we're doing, so Black Spartans is getting fully redeveloped. So all new art.
Mm-hmm.
It is actually is getting rebranded. And I'll say that here. So rebranded. You can't put things that you can't say. So if it has black characters in it, you can't call it black. You can't say black anything, because people would think that the name is just because it's because they black, right? And it's actually not why they call. It's not why I named it Black Spartans, but it's actually has something to do with the story of why it's named Black Spartans.
Mm-hmm.
But it was a good just reality in that, seeing how people reacted to it, and like, man, the name is just taking away too much of the attention from what it's actually supposed to be, and that's not really important. Uh, and so upgrading the art, consistent art, and then finishing it out. So right now it's 100 pages of Black Spartans is done. The full first volume is 150, and so that's being done. Reign of Chaos is being finished at 100 pages. Uh, Michael's being finished with at around 80 pages, and being able to like really go around and take that to everybody. So it's probably a bunch of different kinds uh, that that you know we might run into each other at.
That's gonna be a great thing. So I'll definitely let you know if we ever cross paths with like the conventions and stuff, because I know everybody's timing. But yeah, that's definitely exciting. I'm definitely excited to see the future of that, and I'm just glad that despite all of that, we already knew you're gonna figure it out because you're dedicated to it. So
Yeah.
and that's actually what I want to talk about, because there's so many things happening for you outside of like personal life and everything like that. And I also saw that like you try to take care of yourself physically as well, training to keep your body up and everything like that. So how do you find a way to just stay motivated to do what you're doing, or to get back on track if you ever feel overwhelmed or you ever feel like burnt out?
How do I stay motivated? Hmm. Uh, I don't. I don't really try to. I try to stay disciplined despite motivation.
Mm,
That's the goal. That's what I try to go for. Just discipline over motivation.
okay.
Uh, and when I lose motivation, I try to remember to be disciplined. And when I'm not disciplined, uh, I also I don't dwell on it. Uh, I just just snap back. Uh,
Mm,
so and then I also I tell myself nothing's too big of a deal. Nothing's too dangerous. Like I have a torn bicep right now,
mm.
uh, and it's because of a like high volume of
Is one of our good friends, Navy Montel, came to the stream. Hi!
yeah, like
But like you were saying.
yeah, yeah. Uh, I could say that this torn bicep is enough of a reason for me to just not do anything physical for the next X amount of however. Uh, but being disciplined means that I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna still figure out ways to be to be physically active in a way that will not further damage this arm. There's a bunch of different things that I can do
Yeah.
to do that. Yeah. And so just not letting having the discipline and not let things set me back. And then being okay with you know why did I give away 400 copies to complete strangers and beg them to tell me if they actually hated it?
Yeah.
Because if they hated it, that was okay. If this wasn't what I should be doing, then that's fine. I just I want to please heal from that injury. I am healing. I'm doing lower body stuff. I ain't doing upper body stuff. Uh,
Whatever you gotta do. I mean, like that's the same advice I had to take when it happens to me. So I agree. I agree. You got
that's funny.
it.
Don't go to that gym. Chill.
No, but yeah, I actually do like that answer, especially when you were like, when you're not motivated, just keep the discipline, and then when you're not disciplined, just remind yourself to snap. I agree with that answer, of course.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, you ain't got to be perfect all the time. You're not gonna be perfect all the time. It's impossible. I probably not gonna be perfect most of the time. But and I think that's another thing. Like you got to be able to bounce back and just snap back from the fact that you're not perfect. Because if you dwell on like, oh, I made this mistake, so I might as well, stop doing everything, uh,
Mm,
then that's where you always gonna be, because you always gonna make mistakes, because that is how life works.
yeah, that's definitely true. And I wanted to ask, well, you already have a lot that's coming out, a lot
Uh-huh.
that you did mention, but what are some of the goals that you have for Blerd Manga / Blerd TV? It could be long term, short term, whatever you want to share.
Yeah, I mean, so the first goal is just, it's a time based goal. We got uh the three main stories. So Black Spartan is being rebranded as the Warriors Guild, and that is actively in production. Reign of Chaos is actively in production. Michael's actively in production, and so just waiting on those to get done so that we can begin to put those out. Um, and then really excited about going all around to different Comic Cons around the country, um, and you know, bringing the stories to as many people as possible until we turn them into to an anime. And I'll say, you know, the first big goal being a time based goal, all we got to do is just wait, and that'll happen. The second big thing is
Mm-hmm.
that eventually we'll do another round of investment, and that will be for the first anime. And when we do that, we're gonna do it completely self produced. Put it out on YouTube completely for free. And so
Mm,
uh, the plan is a high Netflix quality,
yeah.
multi-million-dollar anime, uh, featuring black characters, put on YouTube completely for free. And so
Mm,
that's one is small benchmark, but that's the big one.
mm. No, I definitely agree with that, and I look forward to when that gets accomplished. I definitely do agree with that. But I also like the trailer that you put out, So I wanted to ask, what was the process like to get that trailer up? Because animation is no joke. Even that trailer, I know it was a process to get it, to completion.
Yeah. Uh, it's I mean that is just finding an animation studio, going through these simple stages. I mean, we storyboard, and then uh begin to show some movement, and then adding in the color and the effects and the detail, and all of that. And so I mean, that what is that, 12 seconds?
Yeah, it was like 12, almost. I think like between like 12, 15 seconds at the
Yeah, that 12 seconds. uh Gosh, that took, I want to say, what that actually didn't take that long. It took like 3 months, uh,
Okay.
which is, for 12 seconds, it can be kind of long. Uh, yeah, and that's just because of some special effects and stuff. Uh, but we didn't even use actual voice actors on it,
Okay.
because that, I mean, and it's just grunts and stuff. Ain't nobody saying anything anyway. Uh, but that would have made it longer.
No, yeah, that's definitely true. And you also have the stop motion comics that I saw on the YouTube channel. And I think that's pretty cool to have that, because not everybody gets to like do the stop motion comics, but like what was your thought process when you decided to do the stop motion comics? I think I saw for Reign of Chaos, I think I saw for Black Spartans as well.
Uh-huh. Yeah. And so the idea there was just taking what we have as a book and turning it into something somebody can watch, rather than something that somebody had to read.
Hmm.
Uh, and that they can consume passively instead of consuming actively.
Hmm.
Um, and also kind of just going through the process of, because we, on the Black Spartans first motion comic, we do got some voice actors on it. uh,
Mm.
and uh, it was fun to go through like all of that process, uh, of kind of the second part of what the animation process is after the animation is made.
Hmm.
Uh, so yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, no, it looked like it was a lot of fun. I that's what I enjoy about like what you do, because like you said, there's something for everybody. Like if you don't have the time to read, you can watch. If you don't have the time to watch, you can read. If you can't read a long thing, you have something short. So I love that you have like something for everybody.
Yeah, yeah, we try.
Yeah, definitely. And one of the questions I asked is about like just support in like the black/blurred space when it comes to just like uplifting one another, supporting one another.
Mhm.
So I wanted to ask, and in your opinion, have we done well so far to do that for each other, and what can we do to improve upon that? Because everybody has a different response based on their experience within the space.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we have done a really good job in just what is the expectation? The expectation is to show up and have fun, right? I don't think the expectation. I have no expectation that people will just come and support me because I am a blerd that's making comics. I have no expectation of that at all.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it is incumbent on us creators to be realistic. Because as a creator selling a comic at a convention, even if I'm a blerd and this is a blerd thing, I am still a business selling something to a customer, which I still got to answer a few basic questions. And why is it that this customer should do business with me versus doing business with the person standing to my left or standing to my right? Um, and which is why it's important to make sure that we got high quality stories, high quality art, high quality all of that. Um, and so just what have we done well? I think we have shown up, we have celebrated, we have created a space for us to be us.
Mm.
And that is important, and everybody has played a role in making this new reality a reality. Um, what we can do better is just have more realistic expectations.
Yeah.
We haven't created a perfect utopia where everybody gets everything that they want all the time, and
Mm.
now we all live happily ever after. That's
Yeah.
not what we created.
Mm.
Uh, but we have created a community and a space that we absolutely need and deserve, uh, and it is on us to continue to grow it, to evaluate it in a real and sustainable way.
Yeah, this is why I like this question, 'cause everybody has like a good answer to it. I feel like I've
Yeah.
never had a bad answer to it, so I do appreciate that. Cause no, yeah, you're right. Like sometimes people have to be realistic with expectations, and whether it's like what you just said, or in terms of just like how I always say, use discernment. Make sure if you have a business, you show integrity, like you said. You show high
Mhm.
quality. It's just because people are trusted in you to have that product. Don't just like say you're gonna give the product and don't give the product, and then that
I
breaks
know.
trust. All of
Yep.
all
Say
of
you're
those
gonna
things.
deliver some art and don't deliver some art. Like,
Yeah, so it's
crazy.
stuff like that. Like if we're conscious of it, then it helps in the long run. So I definitely agree with the.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, yeah, I definitely, no, I know, like when I said that, because like I've heard stories, like, and I'm just like, we just got to do better when it comes to.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do.
And the last thing I was gonna ask is, how has this journey helped you, whether it's like mentally, spiritually, whether it's learning the new skills that you've learned? How has it helped you personally throughout the years?
Yeah, it is. I mean, the first thing is that it's gonna be cliche, but it has been fun, right? Like uh Black Spartans. I have
Mm-hmm.
this image in my head. I know what every single scene of this anime will look like in my head.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and you know, all the way down to, because I've written out, the first two full volumes. I have it all the way down to the dialogue,
Mm-hmm.
in my head. Uh, and so like for me, when I say this is an anime that I have watched, this is it is, and so for it to be something that I created that it is. I can now just replay it in my head over and over and over again, and I'm super excited and motivated to get it from here to out there. Uh, and and then I just said I'm about to get my MBA in a couple of months,
Mm-hmm.
and you know I've been able to put into practice things that I'm learning, and that's been very 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 helpful. And so I love anime and comics and manga, uh, but I also love learning about business and learning new things and doing new things. And so this has allowed me to do both.
Yeah, that's definitely true. And again, I just want to thank you so much for your time. Hopefully, you had a good time.
Yeah, this was fun. This is great. I can go all night.
Well, that's good to hear.
Yeah.
But I wanted to give you the time to just plug in where you want people to, follow you, catch up with everything you're doing, catch up with all the new stuff that we had that you have coming down the pipeline.
Yeah, I'll just say, Instagram, that's mainly where we are. You also can follow us on TikTok and then on YouTube. So Instagram and YouTube are two main places. So blerd.tv on Instagram. We are BlerdTv official on YouTube, and then BlerdTV on TikTok as well. So just follow us, stay up to date. We have a update list. If you join the update list, you get 100 pages you get the Black Spartans 100 pages for free. And yeah, just stay connected with us because like I said, we redeveloping the art. We about to put it out. Have to put out a bunch of different stories uh, with some really 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 high quality art. Uh, and the people that are following us will be the ones that get to see it first. And I like to give away free stuff, and I'm not saying that I'm gonna give away free copies of these books, but I know myself well enough to know that I probably will when we get to that point. So and those will definitely go to the people that are engaged with us and following us.
Yeah, of course. So definitely, you guys check all of that out, and I do appreciate every single one of you guys. So I guess I have to explain what I do. So hi, my name is Lizzie. My brand is AnimeInkArt. Well, I'm actually wearing something this time because we're not near the art wall like how we used to back in the OG days when we started AnimeInkArt Live Talks. But I started AnimeInkArt. It was my art brand where I love anime, so I used to anime related art. I traditionally draw, but I digitally edit it to create my own style. We have our Shopify and our Redbubble, and we also trying to take on commissions. So we try to vend when we can. So we're trying to get back into that. Shout out to VirtuousCon. That was the first one for the year. And, once we get through some things and all the plethora of things that we're doing, we'll be able to go to more conventions. But yes, if you want like a hoodie like this, or if you want wall art, if you just want, me to create something for you, definitely. If you go to the AnimeInkArt one page, we have all the forms for that, especially if you want commissions, if you want to shoot us jobs. Now, it's extended from that to me doing cosplay from time to time. As you guys saw from BlerdCon, I used to do it to promote whatever I would create because it was anime or Japanese animation inspired related. But that turned into me also cosplaying. So we became an affiliate for Otaku Noir. They make amazing blurred mystery boxes. So definitely if you use code AnimeInkArt, you'll get free shipping off of your order. We were their cosplay model last year. They've been on our podcast, and there might be some fun things going down the pipeline, but we'll see when we get there. But definitely use code AnimeInkArt1 for free shipping off of your order. Their the Mystery Noir box is this month, and they're also coming out with another box, Siren box, that they're going to be talking about soon. So definitely be on the lookout for that. Also, we got the opportunity grant last year with Blerds Unite, which is another awesome Blerd community as well, and hopefully we'll be working with them in the future as well. As well as we do this show. This is like the newer part of what we do for AnimeInkArt Live Talks, but it's been 2 years already. I've always highlighted other creators on our pages, but I used to just do it through my stories and, highlighting them on the page. And then over time, I interacted with a lot of these individuals, and it turned into wanting to have more of an open conversation. This was just me wanting to have an open conversation. It wasn't I didn't acknowledge it as a podcast at first, but then here we are today. So definitely, if you want to be part of AnimeInkArt Live Talks, the form is also in the link tree on the AnimeInkArt One Instagram page, and we have the secondary channel that we'll try to post more clips. But we always share, like when we're doing the shows or when we do the promotion on the main page, we'll put it there as well. And join the broadcast channel, because whatever we're doing, whatever we post, we share that with you guys, or we share updates when we get the chance. Also, feel free to subscribe to the YouTube channel now that we're doing the shows on here. I really do appreciate it. It's free to subscribe. And yeah, there's a lot of things going on. So definitely, if you want to catch up with us, Instagram's the best place to go for that. We also have the Facebook AnimeInkArt as well. TikTok, it's there, but I mean, if you want to click on it, go ahead, go on the site. But we're taking a small break from TikTok, but definitely you'll see us on Instagram, you'll see us on the Facebook. So love you guys. We're gonna have another show very soon. Thank you guys that signed up for this month, that have started signing up for next month, and there's about 2 in May. I may share that tomorrow, just so you guys know what's taken. And yeah, I love you guys so much. And with that, we're out, guys. Bye.
See y'all later.